Okay, so they have a 2010 Nissan Maxima. I think it's from the States, but it doesn't have a running light because most car that comes in Canada they have a daylight running light, but this one don't have it. Most of the car from the US don't have it. So you have to do inspection in the car and they need that. So what I'm doing, I'm installing a simple running light so you can pass the inspection. Alright, so it's I'm gonna start off by trying to find the system. What system does this car have? A 2 wire or 3 wire on the headlight? All right. So I'm gonna show you. You have to know what you if you have a 3 wire. Just 1 second. What does mean by 3 wire? I have the diagram here. Okay, 3 wires mean that you have the same headlights like this one. You have a 3 pin in here, so you have the low beam and high beam here, and one ground. Okay, that's for the 3 wire. Always and you have 2 filament inside. One is for the low beam, and one is for the high beam. So the high beam one, when you go on high beam, is brighter, but it's not in the sense that it's getting more volt to the light. It's just that the wattage is more on the light. Okay, just like you have your home light, you can get 40 watt, 100 watt is brighter, but it's the same, you know. All right. So what you have here now, so I'll have to check the system and see. So when you have like one in like this, that means you're gonna have like one bulb on the headlight. When you have a just a 2 wire, you only have positive, negative. Then you're gonna have like two lights. You're gonna have the low beam has one section, and then the high beam have a different section. And when you have the 3 wire, you're gonna have like one bulb control both high and low beam. All right. So I'm gonna see which one this car have. Okay, underneath I see 2 wire. I can see I have two different headlights here too. Okay. So we don't know which is high beam, which is low beam. You'll have to turn on the ignition switch inside, put on the light, and see which light is working with the low beam on, and then we're gonna do our connection from there. Okay, so first we're gonna, so this work with the relay, and with the 2-way wire, I don't even need all of this connection here. All I just have to do, put a wire from a fuse that is on when the ignition is on or the car is running, and just put the power direct to the positive wire to the light. But I never connect one like that, but it's the same principle that the relay is doing. The relay is taking one power from if you gotta connect one wire to the fuse that has no power when the car is off and has power in run and start. Then it's gonna shoot that power to the relay, and then that relay gonna send out the voltage to the light. Okay, so for the first step in doing this, we're gonna connect our wire to the relay. So this plug to the relay, I didn't connect the wire, this plug to the relay, and then the wire, I have to connect the wire, but I have to make sure I get it right. So brown, it's on have the green. So you have to set this just as they have it on the book, so you don't mix up the wire. All right. So the green wire is gonna be on the top. I'm gonna do this right here. Yeah, the green wire is gonna be at the top. All right. That's the green. So they just come with a special clip. When you clip it in, it's locked. Okay. I have the brown. Brown is on the left side. Snaps in there, and then you have the red. You have the red connection here. The red is at the bottom. And you have the blue. Alright. So the blue is the only one that is left, is this one. Alright. So that is the wiring here. So all the wire now you can see there. So you don't plug this yet. You plug it when you finish the job. So you can see it's gonna go like this after. All right. Okay, so we're gonna disconnect this back. We don't need this yet. I'm gonna start with the red wire. Because the only thing with these, really, they don't last a very long time. It's for a year, less than a year probably they run for. Because of the temperature, they burn the connection, they burn the relay. So you have to replace it. Most people they don't because they already passed the inspection, so you can do whatever you want after that. Okay, so that's secure. That's the red wire here. You have like a fuse here to protect the circuit. Alright. Okay. So these two, the green wire, the positive is connected. That's with the green wire. So this blue wire is going to be connected to the fuse. Alright, so I'm going to cut this out. I don't need this one. I'm going to use it to check a fuse. You have to see a fuse that has power when the ignition is on or in the run position, and off when you turn off the ignition. Alright, so we're going to try a 10 amp first, then see which one is working, and we're going to try 15. So we're going to go with the test light. We're going to take off everything. So the key is off, the light is off. Alright, so now we're going to check for a fuse that don't have any power in the off position, but has power when you turn the ignition on. Alright. This fuse has no power, so we're going to turn on the ignition. This one is not good. Let's try this 15A. That's not good. Yes, so this one has no power. See, now it has power, okay? Ignition is on, we have power here. Sometimes I like to check what I'm putting the power on, you know? So, you can go in the fuse box. You need something simple, maybe the radio, something that is not that important that the car is going to stop. You don't want to connect it on a fuel pump, or you don't want to connect it in some input like computer. You know, you need something like very simple, just in case it's born. But what you're going to do here, the very important thing of this here, you have the fuse. I'm going to take out the fuse here. All right. And the fuse, what it does is protect the device that's whatever it's made to protect. It's burnt, okay? So you have one power is coming in, and the other side is going out. So the side that going out is protecting the, let's say for example, the radio. If there's a short on the radio, the fuse is gonna burn. So the power is still gonna be here, but it cannot do any more damage because the power is shut off. It's cut, the fuse is broke. So when you're gonna connect your jumper, and any time you're gonna jump any electric wire to the fuse, never connect the wire to the side that has continuous power. That's very bad. You can burn the car up. You connect to the side that has no power. Right? So when you plug in the fuse, it's gonna get power. So if you have a problem that there's a short on whatever you're connecting, it's gonna burn the fuse. It wouldn't damage your car. It wouldn't damage your wire harness, because sometimes one fuse control more than one device. Okay, so it's gonna be ripping through the wire like nothing. You're gonna see smoke all over. You don't want to do that. So always very important, connect your jumper or the additional wire you're running to get power, connect it to the side that has no power. So when you test it now, okay, you're gonna test it. Here, no power. Here, it has power. So you don't want to connect it here because it has power. This side has no power. Alright? So I'm gonna take the blue wire here. I'm gonna strip it out. It doesn't have to be a fuse. It could be any wire that has power when it's shut off, but the fuse is better for me because I know what it's really connected to. I know because the wire, I don't know if you have to check it if you have power and what device that controls. So it's better go on your fuse and connect it to your fuse, okay? So the way you know that you set it up, that is, if there is a problem with the short in the wire burn, or you have a short somewhere, you know that it's just your fuse is gonna burn. So I'm gonna cut this wire a little bit. It's kind of thick. I'm gonna take out a couple strands on it. So this is the main part of it, that you know where to connect your jumper wire here. Alright. Then we're going to take our fuse and we're going to put it back down in there. pliers for that. Because it's weight down. So I got a long nose pliers because my hand cannot get down in there. Alright, so I'm gonna start the process again. Get this wire down in there. Push the fuse down. Alright. So now we secure that. So now on the blue wire we should have power here. And the positive. The blue and the red should have power right now. The positive is all the time continuous power. Alright, and the blue wire should have power. Alright. So I'm gonna turn off the ignition and we shouldn't have no power to the blue wire here. That's to check that before you continue, okay? Or if there's no problem, if the wire is there, the power is not gonna burn, but what happens, the light gonna stay on all the time, right? Because you have power all the time. So now we have no power. So what that means, when you go in your car, you start it, you have power, the daylight is gonna come on. And when you turn off your car, you turn off the ignition, the power stops, so your light gonna go off. Alright, that's how they want it to work. So we're gonna put our relay. Because I didn't connect the brown wire, but I'm gonna connect the brown wire on the, I'm gonna see if I can connect it on the ground on the battery and see what's happening, if it's gonna work. Because it should have the same ground that go into your light, because the ground and the light is continuously, it's always there. So I think they all should connect. Alright. Okay, the ignition is on. And if I do a good job, the light should come on. The daylight should start. Alright, you see right away, the daylight comes on right away. Okay? So I don't have to go to the light because the ground there is already there. Okay? So you can see that. See, I need to show you that when I jump that. You could see it through the camera, I'm not sure, but look, when I put this to the ground, it comes on right away, the light comes on right away. So you can see, that's the light coming on. You see, I disconnect the wire, the light went out, okay, and I connecting back the wire, the light comes on. Now I'm going to turn off the ignition switch inside the car. Okay, so that's what happened. When I turn the ignition switch off, the light goes off. Alright, so my daylight is working. The light is working, everything comes on, and just like this. So all I have to do now is to secure this somewhere and tape up all my extra wire that I don't need. Usually I cut them because they are so long, you know, I can cut them to make it more nicer. Alright, so we don't need the test light. So the trick of this one, the safety, connect the wire on anything you're gonna connect to get extra power on a fuse box. Connect to the side that has no power when the car is whatever you activated, it shouldn't be a power, and connect it. Don't connect it to the side that has power because you're gonna this because that power is continuously and it's coming straight from the battery and it's gonna and battery when the wire heats up, it heats and it will burn the skin of the wire. And then the neighboring wire might get caught, and then what happened? You burn that wire, and then that wire keep burning the next one, and they keep burning, and you have a car that is on fire. All right. So you got to be careful with that one. So when you have a fuse, the fuse is supposed to stop that from getting getting there. All right. Okay, so now I have to secure this wire here, the brown wire. I'm gonna make it a little bit longer here. I'm just gonna wrap it around the negative battery, but I couldn't find the wrong clip to put it like the positive. I'm gonna maybe do that after. I'm just gonna release this. So this is the negative wire here. And I install it right at the back of the screw. I don't put it on the nut side, I put it on the back so it doesn't turn. And it's just gonna be squeezed. Right, and that's a perfect connection right there. All the extra wire. I'm gonna secure my fuse box, gonna cover that. Okay, watch where alright, so we're gonna tie this up and then alright, so that's basically how you do this, the daylight. It's very simple. Remember the red wire, if you have the, I don't know you're gonna have this in the same way wherever you live, but it's the simple way. But you could connect, you don't need all of this here. But I never try it just with just a wire. You can use a wire direct to the fuse here, and one wire direct from your fuse, the one without the power when the car shuts off, and you put it direct to your light, positive on the light, because there's always negative. So if you put this wire from here to here, it's gonna put your light on. But the only thing I don't know is the heat, the temperature, because I know that this burn after a certain month. It's because it's on all the time, constantly. It's burn, and what it does is melt the plastic here, and sometimes you have to change the whole wiring again. All right. Sometimes, some cases they come and say it's not running, it's not working, couple months, you have to replace the relay. But when it get bad and with the dirt and you see dirt and water, whatever, it's damaged the connection, so you have to replace the whole wiring. All right. So so that's how you connect a headlight, running light on any cars that does not have a headlight with this system here. And they have different way you connect it, but it's the same principle. All right. But if you're really desperate, it's like I said, one wire from the fuse that has no power when the car is off, and put it to the pin that does not have any power when the car is on or off. All right. So that way you're gonna only damage your fuse. And with temperature, I don't know if it's gonna damage you can melt your fuse. I see like some BMW, but it's not by the light. It's normal. They burn the fuse boxes, but that's a different situation. Okay, so you don't want to burn the fuse box. So that's why it's better to put it like this. But this is the same because what the relay is doing. You have one power to the battery. All right. Then you have one power that activate the relay. All right, and then you have a ground, the ground, and then when you activate the relay, now the power, this wire has no power unless you send the power now, so then it's going out. So it's the same principle as taking power from here and shoot it direct to the wire. It's the same principle, but only you have a relay that control it. All right. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more interesting video and have a good day. Bye.